Hi CSS friends, my name is Dana Csengody and today we are going to be talking all about the Thanksgiving turkey. Now you might be wondering, why do we eat turkey on Thanksgiving in the first place? After all, the Thanksgiving turkey is a familiar favorite for most of us here in America. On the first Thanksgiving in 1621, it's uncertain if the Pilgrims ate turkey on their Thanksgiving plate, but we do know for certain they had some kind of fowl or bird, some seafood, and copious amounts of produce to resemble the fall harvest. While geese and duck were a more popular bird to consume on Thanksgiving, the turkey gained more popularity after President Abraham Lincoln declared Thanksgiving a national holiday in 1863. Let's take a closer look at the history of the Thanksgiving turkey.
For a lot of Americans, the best thing about Thanksgiving is the food. And no Thanksgiving meal is complete without, that's right, turkey. But why turkey exactly? How did this strange bird come to dominate the dinner table? Well, turkeys have a lot going for them. For one thing, they're big. Big enough to feed a family. For another, they're not usually raised for their eggs like chickens are. In the old days, that meant that turkeys were more expendable, which in turn made turkey meat relatively cheap. The fact that wild turkeys are native to North America made them a natural choice to be served at early Thanksgiving celebrations, but that doesn't mean they were always the most important part of the feast. In fact, the event we now think of as the first Thanksgiving may not have had any turkey at all. It's true that the Pilgrims shared a meal with the Wampanoag Indians at Plymouth Colony in 1621. But all we know for sure about the menu is that it included deer and fowl. That fowl might have been turkey, but more likely it was ducks or geese. What's more, that 1621 meal didn't exactly start a trend. Throughout America's early history, some communities did hold ceremonies to give thanks for the fall harvest, and over time the common turkey did become a popular centerpiece for these occasions. But the so-called first Thanksgiving was largely forgotten about until the 19th century, when various local traditions inspired the idea of a national celebration. For more than 30 years, a writer named Sarah Josepha Hale advocated for Thanksgiving to become an official U.S. holiday. Her efforts finally succeeded in 1863 when Abraham Lincoln issued a presidential proclamation. Only then did people begin to think of Thanksgiving as a uniquely American observance. The story of the Pilgrims became closely connected to the holiday, as did, well, the turkey. Even if they weren't served at the first Thanksgiving, turkeys were mentioned in Pilgrims' journals. And at least one founding father was fond of them. Benjamin Franklin touted the turkey as a respectable bird and a true original native of America. By the end of the 19th century, people across the country were calling the holiday Turkey Day. Symbolism aside, it was practicality that ensured the turkey a permanent place on the Thanksgiving table. Through the years, they've remained affordable. They're big enough to feed a family with plenty of leftovers.
Now that we've learned about the history of the Thanksgiving turkey, let's talk about a few fun facts. About 46 million turkeys are eaten every year on Thanksgiving. Wild turkeys can fly, while domestic turkeys like the ones we eat on Thanksgiving cannot fly. Wild turkeys can fly up to 55 miles per hour and run at speeds of 20 miles an hour. How cool is that? Another cool fact about wild turkeys is that they sleep in trees. Male turkeys, also called toms, gobble, but hens, which are the female turkeys, do not gobble. They make a clicking noise instead. Did you know that the record for the world's largest turkey is 86 pounds? Let's take a field trip to a turkey farm.
There's a lot of chatter amongst the holiday fowl here at Doublebrook Farm in Hopewell, New Jersey. Not even farm co-owner and turkey whisperer John McConaughey can say with certainty what they're gobbling about. But he admits
there's something, very soothing about being among the turkeys.
These turkeys are very curious creatures. John says wherever he goes on the farm, they follow along. And whenever he talks, they talk back.
Gobble, gobble.
The venture began with 20 heritage birds in 2008. Now there are more than 1,000. These turkeys live the good life, even with occasional interruption from guard dog Rufo.
They have plenty of space to wander around. Their lifespan they live about twice as long as the commercial turkeys.
They nourish on organic feed and are free to roam and eat natural foods, a lifestyle to ensure the most healthy, flavorful meat.
You are what you eat. You are what you eat.
On that note, is there a special ritual surrounding slaughtering these birds for Thanksgiving?
My ritual is before that day, and so I'll come out and sit with them throughout the week and say my goodbyes.
Ultimately, they end up here at Brick Farm Market or at Brick Farm Tavern. We sat down with executive chef Greg Vassos for turkey tips. He says brining is key.
Equal part of sugar, salt, water, and whatever spices and aromatics you want to put in there. I would say 2 days prior.
Finally, store it at the bottom of the fridge, below any raw food. Before we go, you might be happy to know that 100 of these turkeys do get pardoned. They'll help ensure future Thanksgiving feasts boast beautiful birds, too. From Hopewell, New Jersey, Vanessa Murdoch, CBS 2 News.
Turkeys have doubled in size over the last 90 years. However, there are still plenty of choices when it comes to how big of a turkey you buy for your Thanksgiving table. Let's take a closer look as we watch our friend Martha Stewart show the different sizes of Thanksgiving turkeys.
USDA estimates that 45 million turkeys are cooked and eaten on Thanksgiving Day in the United States. Deciding which turkey to buy for Thanksgiving isn't as easy as it used to be, with many, many more options now available. And all last week I was talking about heritage turkeys, I was talking about organic turkeys, about natural turkeys. So I thought I would go through some of the choices to help you decide which turkey best fits your table. So here are 4 birds, and they look quite different. You'll find these in different stores this week. This broad-breasted white turkey is the most common turkey sold in the United States, and it ranges in price from 88 cents to $1.69 per pound. Now, this is a big, fat, beautiful bird. It's also often sold frozen, so be sure to factor in thawing time. You should buy it today. Put it in your refrigerator if it is frozen, and a 16-pound turkey will take 4 days to thaw in your refrigerator. So make sure you put it in the refrigerator today. These turkeys have been bred to provide more breast meat than a standard turkey, and they're not organic turkeys. These are not. Here is a natural turkey. The USDA states that a natural turkey has no added colorings or artificial ingredients and is only minimally processed. They are often sold fresh and are slightly more expensive, averaging about $1.99 a pound. Now here is an organic turkey. To be certified organic by the USDA, everything from what the turkeys are fed to how they are processed is regulated. Organic turkeys are more expensive. They range from $2.29 to $4.99 a pound. I think you'll find the taste really good, and it's a pretty looking bird too. Now this is an odd looking bird, but don't let looks deceive you. These are indigenous breeds like the standard bronze. I raise bourbon reds, Royal Palms, and Black Spanish in my turkey yard. They require less cooking time than other turkeys because their breasts are often smaller. You can see right here. They have a rich, gamey flavor, and they're have a slightly higher fat content, even though they look skinnier. And they have very delicious meat. The ones we cooked last week on the show were utterly fantastic. But these are the most expensive turkeys, often starting at around $5 a pound. And I've even seen some advertised this week for up to $14 a pound. Buying a heritage bird helps save rare turkey breeds by increasing demand for these turkeys. And I think that is that's not the only reason to buy it. I think you also buy it for the flavor. And if you're not feeding a giant crowd, this is a real good bird to try. Well, once you've decided what type of bird you are buying, you need to decide on size. And here's a helpful hint. For each person at your table, figure 1 pound or 2 if you want leftovers. So if you want turkey sandwiches for later today on Thanksgiving and that later that night, like we always loved, or tomorrow, the next day after Thanksgiving, make sure you order 2 pounds per person. So that should make a perfect Thanksgiving meal.
One more fun fact before we leave today. Did you know that the world's largest turkey is a roadside attraction in Minnesota? It stands over 20 feet tall and is 17 feet wide. It weighs over 5,000 pounds and has more than 3,000 fiberglass feathers. Is turkey your favorite part of the Thanksgiving meal? Let's discuss. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving.